Welcome back to Everything Goes. Today I'm in the studio with my man John.
We back in the stew, baby. Everything goes up.
Got my man Will.
Yo.
And we gonna kick it off just like that. We gonna move ahead to topic number 1 for today. What team would you guys like to see Davante Adams play for and why?
So when we was going over this topic, I didn't have a single team I wanted to see Davante play for because the top 2 teams that are on the radar is one of the Saints. Why would I want Davante to go to the Saints in the NFC?
I know you're a hater, big hater.
That's cool. And then the Jets. Why do you want to go to a loser organization?
Super.
So to be honest, to be fair, I don't have a team I want him to be on. Period. Just kick rocks, bro. I just wanted to do nothing.
You just want him out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
It don't matter.
I'm gonna go. The first one is not a shock. I would say the Chiefs. They need him only because they need a receiver right now with Bryce going out.
But you want to see that?
No, me personally.
Exactly. I don't want to see none of this.
Carry out, but that's just strictly off me. And to be honest, why not? It'd be good for Davante Adams to be with another quarterback like what he had in A-Rod.
Got you.
The other one is gonna come to shock. Jacksonville. Sitting down there with Trevor.
Trevor Bortles?
Yeah, why not? Listen,
get Trevor
a true number 1.
Got you.
That's the one I said that's gonna shock y'all with Jacksonville being in my division.
You should want that.
I shouldn't want that at all.
But at the end of the day, you being a football fan.
Me being a football fan, that gives Trevor a true number 1. Because remember last year he had the problems with his receivers dropping touchdowns. He's not dropping touchdowns.
No.
As accurate as Trevor is, and the crispy routes that Davante run.
And did you see? How many times Ridley was in the end zone wide open and dropped them Jones?
Exactly.
So you get all them opportunities to Davante Adams, they touchdowns.
It's a win-win for us football fans because we get to actually see if Trevor Bortles, if Trevor
Bortles is crazy, and I'm not gonna keep letting you slide with that.
Bro, we been letting you slide for the past like 3 weeks. We ain't talking about Trevor on the show yet.
We did. We talked about Trevor last week.
That was it.
I didn't bash him last week because I don't want to call him a bust because I don't think he ever had a true number 1.
Got you.
If he get Davante a true number 1, then we get to determine if he's Trevor Bortles or Trevor Lawrence.
Fair.
The numbers right now say Trevor Bortles, but that's because we can co-sign it to a lack of talent.
The numbers say he not better than Daniel Jones right now.
You know what? We're not even gonna get into that. We're not even gonna get into that. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Trevor Downs?
No. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give my take. So it shouldn't shock any of you guys. I think it's a 2-team race between the Jets and the Saints. I'm gonna start with the Jets just real fast. I mean, obviously you got the connection with A-Rod, and then him going over there. Do I think they would compete for a Super Bowl? Me being honest, no. I don't think the team is good enough for them to win a Super Bowl. What I've seen from Aaron Rodgers the last 4 weeks has not shown me that he looked good. He looked like Aaron Rodgers for a game and a half. He looked like Aaron Rodgers against the Patriots.
I feel like that's too much. A couple quarters. He looked like Aaron Rodgers for a couple.
What was the half game?
The last game they played the Jets and they lost 10-9 at home.
No, when they played Broncos.
You said
the Broncos. Excuse me.
A game and a half. Which game was the half?
The half a game where he looked good.
Half a game for the Broncos, he looked good.
No, he made some good throws against the Broncos, but I would say the half a game he low key looked nice. They had, and I'm not gonna say nice. They had 2 good drives against the 49ers where he looked like Aaron Rodgers. He threw the ball well, moved out of the pocket well.
He keeps saying, Aaron Rodgers keeps saying, once him and Garrett Wilson get on the same page,
it's gonna be something special. But every time I turn around, Garrett Wilson got 4 catches, 5 catches, 4 catches, 5 catches. He was doing that with Zach Wilson.
receiver on the team.
That's crazy.
He was doing that with Zach Wilson. Where's his 7, 8, 9 catch games at? Where they coming? But we gonna move it along. I mean, they got Brees Hall back there, like you mentioned. They back up running back Braden Allen. He not bad either. He get some carries, and then they also got Allen Lazard. So I mean, and they defense, I don't think they defense is as good as everybody else say they is, but they definitely a top 10 defense. Am I gonna say they're a top 5 defense? No, they are not.
They were supposed to be the best coming into this season.
Exactly, and they're far from that. Moving along to the Saints, where he should go and where he should land.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. So one, you got two connections working with the Saints. You got Derek Carr, his quarterback from college, and who he played with for the Raiders for 1 year, and then you got our wide receiver coach, who was also his personal wide receiver coach for his years in Green Bay and in Fresno State. So you got that working in our favor. He come here to New Orleans. Me personally, I already thought that we was a playoff team. But if we get Devontae, I'm going to say it. We are contenders, and I'm about to tell you why we are Super Bowl contenders if we get Devontae. One, we've been had the defense to compete in the Super Bowl. That's not going nowhere. Move along to the offense. You bring in Devontae, he will become the number one. Okay, cool. You move Chris Olave, who is a number one, to the number two. That is a great number two to have. And then you got Rashid Shaheed, who is still your deep threat, who can still take the top off. And now he's never going to be doubled. If the defender cannot keep up with him, who should be number two? No, he gonna be the
number two.
No, he gonna be the number 3. Chris Olave gonna be the number 2.
I'm saying as of right now.
Oh, he should be the number 2. Yeah, no. He's a number 3, but we don't have a number 2 right now, so he's our number 2 right now. But then you move along, we got AK in the backfield, like elite running back. I don't need to say nothing else. And then we still got Taysom Hill, who is a gadget guy who's going to get the job done when we need him to. And so that's enough on offense to contend in the NFC and in the NFL in general. And then I know what people are going to say about Derek Carr, but people used to say the same exact thing about Jared Goff. Now look at his situation. He's surrounded by the best weapons possible, and he's flourishing in his situation. Not saying that Derek Carr can play that well, but can he give you some of that? He should be able to. And then with Alvin Kamara back there in that defense, that's more than enough to win. And then you got to think about it. Devontae had his second best season with Derek Carr, 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns. And you don't even need him to give you that from New Orleans. If he give you 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns, 11 touchdowns, okay, cool. No, you're not going to be disappointed because... Who, me?
For what?
I wouldn't be disappointed because Chris Olave is over there. That's why, because Chris Olave can...
He's not better than Chris Olave?
Yes, but if you got Devontae over there, I don't expect him to give me 1,500 yards because how many yards you think Chris Olave going to have? Chris Olave going to have... Him and Chris Olave both going to have around 1,200, 1,100 yards apiece.
No, listen.
What?
Hear me out. That's great. But Devontae Adams is that good of a route runner. If he only gives you 1,200 yards, you don't think something wrong with him?
No, I'm not. Also because you got to think about the style that we run. We throw the ball only about max 25 times a game. We normally throw it around 20 times a game. We run the ball 20, 25 times a game. Like, we're a really balanced offense. So half of the targets is going to AK. So good production out of Devontae. It's 1,200 yards from him, 1,100 yards, 1,200 yards by Chris. And then you get Shaheed to give you 750, 800 yards. Maybe six, maybe 7 touchdowns. That's more than enough. So we get Devontae, that would make us Super Bowl contenders, and we got 2 connections working in our favor. Like I said, the Jets and the Saints are at the top of his list. So I'm hoping that we land him because that's really going to be a game changer in the NFC, I think.
I'm the biggest hater. I don't want him to come to the NFC, so I don't care. I do. I can't say about what you said with the Jets. I look at it the same way as when he went to the Raiders. Like, granted, he was going to go play with Derek
Carr, but they wasn't ready to win now.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about from the organizational standpoint. Like, when Derek Carr was about to get fired, I don't know how he couldn't see that, but everybody saw that his job was about to lose his job. That's number one. And then number 2, when have the Raiders won recently? They haven't won anything. And then you go, like, if you go to the Jets, you're going to be a loser. Like, the coach is on the hot seat. He's probably going to get fired in the next couple of weeks, if we're being completely honest. Mm-hmm. The GM is also probably going to be fired. Mm-hmm. And then the team is not 100% healthy, and then you look at the situation that they put themselves in. Like the Bengals. Mm-hmm. Situations they put themselves in terms of players. Like with Hassan Reddick right now. Why you still not paid
why would you trade for him just to have him a contract? But that's what the Jets do.
That's loser organization. Why would you want to go to a loser organization is my thing.
And that's why I disregarded his request.
For the Jets.
And
the Saints is not a loser organization, bro.
They way better situation.
What's the reason?
I don't want to see him and Derek Carr again. I don't want to see
Why? So okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because I meant to touch on it. I'm gonna hear you out.
Hear me out. I just want to get in with I want to get in with a like legit quarterback.
I hear you.
I don't think Derek Carr is an elite, legit quarterback.
All right, but in this NFL, if we being truthfully,
He's not that
but
elite quarterback.
yes,
but we all
that's
feel
one.
Like do we all feel like Trevor has the potential to be that, or had the potential to be
yes,
that?
I think so.
I don't know.
He hasn't had the weapons.
I think so.
We don't know.
But
giving him a legit weapon like this, we can make that determining factor with that right there.
But going back to what you touched on about the Raiders and how you said you don't want to see Derek Carr and Davante Adams again, because granted it looked like the season. No, I'm not gonna say it looked like the season wasn't successful. But if you really look into it, that was the year that the Minnesota Vikings had won like 6 or 7 games by 1 score, and the Raiders was the opposite team that lost 6 or 7 games by 1 score. So like they was just that close. All them games came down to the Raiders having the ball inside the 40, inside the 30, and fumbling it on the last play, whether it's an incompletion, a drop pass, a fumble, or something. They didn't execute the last play. That's always how it came down to. And you got to blame that on Josh McDaniels, then also just on the coaching staff, but the players as well. But in New Orleans, he'll have better supporting cast around Davante Adams. I don't care who they had in Oakland. They did not have Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave. That's one. And then 2, our coaching staff is definitely better than Josh McDaniels. The Saints are always ready to play. We don't never show up and get blew. When was the last time we got blew out and they come to play? With the amount of quarterbacks we've had in the last couple of years, that still don't happen.
Josh should never had a job.
Exactly. So that's not going to happen. It's going to be way more successful than it was in Oakland. So you can look at that in terms of the production. You see the production, but it didn't equate to wins. But them wins will happen with New Orleans. Trust me.
I don't think y'all need him in your offense per se.
We need somebody. We don't have enough to compete for a bowl right now, and that's what we're trying to do.
Listen, but hear me out. Like you said, injuries play a key factor. As of right now, the NFC ain't that strong. It's everybody.
I hear you. But we can't pray. We can't pray on somebody to get hurt. We want to go make the best team possible to put us in the best situation, and that's getting Davante Adams.
But the team y'all have now is a legit team.
Yes, it's a legit team. I like our squad too.
Can they contend though? Just what we saying?
We called them contenders to start the second.
We did.
Contenders, yes.
I still think we're contenders without Davante Adams, but it's a lot harder without him. It's a lot harder.
If they're not contenders, the Eagles not contenders.
We don't gotta get into it.
Alright then. That's what I'm saying. If the Saints ain't contenders,
we're
ain't
getting
contenders.
That's cool.
All right, so we gonna leave it there. We gonna move on to topic 2.
Like that.
Y'all corny. Go on to the next topic.
We gonna move on to topic 2 of the day. How does the Chief chances look at a three-peat now that Rashee Rice may miss the rest of the season?
You want to start? You want me to take this?
You got it. I jumped on it first last seg. Go ahead, my boy.
I think the Chiefs can still three-peat without Rice. Just on the simple fact that they still have Hollywood, they still have Travis, Xavier Worthy, Isaiah Pacheco's coming back. Mahomes did more with less in the past. Like, he won a bowl with Juju as his
wide receiver 1.
So,
Is Hollywood playing this season?
Yeah.
He's supposed to?
He's about to come back. In like the next 2-3 weeks, he back.
Word. Say that.
And look, if they had all 3, Rice, Hollywood, and that'll move Xavier Worthy to wide receiver 3, which is supposed to be the slot guy, you can't stop that. You won't be able to stop that. But even now, without Rice, great team still. Defense is still there. Defense is good. They're only going to get better as the season progresses. Pretty good team, bro.
I think so. I won't lie. I honestly thought that Holly was supposed to be gone the majority of the season.
Gotcha.
I didn't know that he was coming back in 2-3 weeks. But prior to that, I said this is the even though they're 4-0, I will preface saying that they are undefeated. They still getting wins. This is not the most vulnerable, but I feel like this is the most beatable. I feel like the Chiefs hasn't been in a while, minus Rashee Rice, because of what we've seen from Patrick. Like, I think,
the way he's playing. He's not playing up to his standard.
Yeah, so 2 things. I say 1, before I even get to Patrick, Trav looks every bit of 35. Even last year, we can say Trav was asleep the whole season, but he turned up in the playoffs. But during the season, he still looked
worse than he did last year.
Yeah, like he still looked all right. This season, he looked old and slow and just not ready. And then Patrick.
He is 35, but could that be old Travis? Just with people covering him like that, just because the name is Travis Kelce, you gotta double him just off that name.
No, because this is year 2 of Rashid, and then also everybody knows Xavier is a burner. Mm-hmm. Everybody know that. So I don't think that's really it. And if you watch, you can see like he look a little slower. And then Patrick, he's ranked second. He's ranked second to last in the Chiefs are ranked second to last in turnover differential. Got you. Big part of that is for Patrick. He's tied third in turnovers, which is 5. 12th in yards, and he's 6th in touchdowns, and he has an 89.7 rating. Now last year we said, he was having kind of the worst season, not the worst season, but from Patrick Mahomes standards, it's not really Patrick Mahomes standards.
No.
Yes, but this year I think that edge has came off just even
more.
Not, I don't want to say worse because it's still Patrick Mahomes, but not from what we've used to. Like we say Jalen the turnover machine, where Patrick Mahomes has a turnover every game this season. Mm-hmm. Every single game this season. But they still find ways to win games, which, you got to credit them for. But I feel like they're super vulnerable and not the weapon. Then Pacheco's going to come back, of course. But then you hoping that he comes back. The downhill super, you look at his mitt, he look like he horsing going. Yeah, you hope that he's the same way when he comes back.
So yeah, I agree with both of you guys, but I lean a little bit more towards Will. And the reason why I lean that way is because everything that you said, but I'm also bring up somebody else. Kareem Hunt, he looked good last week.
He did look good last week.
And when Isaiah Pacheco come back, he's not going to get cut. He's just going to slide to RB2. And so now you'll have a dynamic backcourt, kind of how they did with him and Nick Chubb over there in Cleveland. So you got that working for you. Like you mentioned, you still got Xavier Worthy, not Rashee Rice. Hollywood Brown come back soon. You still got Travis Kelce. Now, you said he do look 35. We don't know if he going to be able to turn it up how he did last year come playoff time. But even if he don't, I still think that somebody that y'all sleeping on is Justin Watson. Now, we don't talk about him enough, but he been there year after year after year for a reason. Rather they put him at tight end number 2 or at wide receiver 4. He always goes in and make a play. I seen him just last year when they played. I want to say Buffalo when Kadarius Toney lined up offsides. On that play, he threw a bomb to him. It was like 3rd and 20 or something, and he went up and caught it on 3 people, got the first down. He does stuff like that every year. So if you need him to come in and make a play or two, he can still do that for you. Now, like you said, Patrick Mahomes hasn't been playing his best football. But at the end of the day, this is Patrick Mahomes in his prime. I'm still not going to bet against him. So I will say their chances have dipped slightly, but I still think that they got the best chances on the AFC as of right now.
Bro, I'm not even going to say dipped slightly. I don't even think they did.
No?
I don't think they did.
Why not? Dip from what? You talking about last year?
No. It's like
with Rashee Rice going out, yeah.
Now, with Rice going out, I'm not even going to say they dipped. Just on the simple fact that, like I said earlier, he won a bowl with Juju as wide receiver 1.
Which is crazy.
Bro, they made Kadarius Toney not show up to the bowl.
I feel like, but
don't come, stay home. We got you. We gonna mail you the ring. Don't show up.
And
that's crazy.
You show up, we gonna lose. That's how they treated him.
And 365 days prior to that, Kadarius Toney was considered a weapon that majority of teams would have liked to have.
Yes.
But then when we say when he went with Juju, I think Trav is the biggest X factor in my opinion. Like
because Trav was showing out that year.
He was. That was two years ago, right? Mm-hmm. That was 2 years ago, and Trav looked like the greatest tight end to ever lace him up and touch a field. Now he looked like a show. I think that's I don't know if that'll haunt them in a regular season, but I think in my opinion, if playoff time comes and Trav still is deteriorating or he's looking older,
it's gonna be a problem.
They're gonna be in trouble.
So,
absolutely. Even with the weapons, Rashid, Hollywood, I think that's going to be a major problem.
I can't remember. It was a game from this year. I can't remember who they played, but Travis ran a go route. He took the safety with him, and then Worthy came through the middle, wide open middle, slant, boom, gone.
It's that Trav effect.
Yeah, so why?
That's not gonna go away.
It's not gonna go away.
But then if you look at with 17 weeks, if you go through 17 weeks, you get to the playoffs and you see Trav not on nothing.
Then you're saying they might lax the coverage a little bit.
They might lax the coverage.
And then if they do that, and what if he? You mean?
He's gonna kill. He's trapped, bro. He's 35.
I get that, but I'm saying like if he's let's say they don't lax the coverage and then they let Trav run free, but he just don't look the same. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. man.
We gonna see. It might not matter at all, but
most teams gonna take.
Yeah, and the only thing I would say to combat you, John, is 2 years ago they didn't have the. Granted, Isaiah Pacheco was out, but Isaiah Pacheco is going to come back, and with Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, they didn't have that running game 2 years ago.
We didn't mention Kareem Hunt.
Yeah,
he's a dog,
they did.
bro. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of upset that Colts didn't grab him because I wanted us to get him last year when we lost JT.
I didn't even know that he was on the free agency, and I'm looking at the camera right now, and I'm upset that my Saints ain't go grab him because we don't have an RB2.
What's up with Jamal, bro? Y'all be doing him dirty.
We do, but no. He was, but I'm not gonna say that because last year when AK was out the first 4 games and he was the lead back, he was garbage.
He looked like us in the league.
He was giving them like 2.2 yards a carry type time. Granted, it wasn't the offensive scheme that we got now, but that scheme can't make everybody.
True.
And if he was good enough to get carries with that scheme, he would have been getting carries last week because AK played with a broken rib and bruised up knees. He would have had carries last week.
Bro, he not a bum, bro.
Jamal?
Yeah.
He's not a bum, but I don't want him as my RB2. I'll take Kareem Hunt in the heartbeat.
For sure.
Respect.
I mean, anybody take Kareem Hunt as their RB. Well, I'm not gonna say anybody because a lot of teams
like the Dolphins. But we ain't even gonna get into that. we gonna move along to topic 3. Staying with the AFC. What's your leaders in the AFC going into week 5?
Mm-hmm. You go ahead, jump on it, Dan.
All right, so right now at the number 1 spot, I got the Chiefs. Last week they beat the Chargers. They came back from down 10, lost Rashee Rice on the road, still took care of business. Number 2, I got the Ravens strictly because they beat the Bills. The way they beat them, they blew them out. I had the Bills, I think, at number 1 and number 2 last week, and they was at home, but they showed up and they showed out. They still got to prove something to me. We'll get more into that later on, but I got them at number 2 right now. At number 3, I got the Bills. They take a step down, losing to the Ravens, but I kind of seen that coming, but I didn't think they would get blew out like that. Yeah. So I got to take that into consideration, but they still a top 3 team on the East, the way that they constructed, and I know Josh Allen going to show up. And then at 4, I got the Texans at 4. They played a hell of a game against the Jags. The Jags are definitely better than what their records say. And CJ showed up in clutch time last week, and their defense looked good when they needed to be. The defense ain't started off good, but they came together towards the end, and they let their offense have a chance to get back into the game. So that's who I got.
You said the Jags defense better than they is?
No, the Jags record. The Jags team is better than what their record says they are.
They look bad. They 0-4.
I know they 0-4, but
they look 0-4.
I'm still I can't say that, bro.
They look 0-4.
They look 0-4.
They didn't play a tough game against the Texans last week.
You heard what they coach say.
We can only call the plays. We can't make. It's
Dougie
a two-way
P out there
street.
losing his mind. I'm sorry, Dan. Go ahead, bro.
He said it's a two-way street over there. But no, I'm kicking it over to y'all. So I got Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Houston. Texans.
All right, I'm gonna go off with we back week 2. Quick pick 6. So I'm gonna go Chiefs, Ravens. They 1 and 2. Chiefs, top dogs. They gonna have the ultimate respect for number 1. Ravens number 2. They beat the brakes off the Bills last week, and they look really good. Passing, run game, clicking. They defense is suspect. They were supposed to come in with a top ranked defense,
and that's not the case.
No, they defense I believe is somewhere middle of the pack, at best. 3 and 4, me and Dan agree, but they're very interchangeable to me. So whoever win, they're playing each other this week.
Yep, I feel the same exact way.
Whoever win this week, they go at number 3. But for right now, I have the Bills at number 3 if I had to choose, and then I had Houston, and I'm gonna do that because Josh is better than CJ, and the tiebreaker I wanted to pick was their quality of wins, but they both have similar wins losses. They both have 3 wins against teams that are like the Bills wins are against the Dolphins, the Cards, and then the Jags. They blew the brakes off the Dolphins and the Jags, and they got blew out by the Ravens. Houston, they beat the Colts, Bears, and the Jags, and they got the doors blown off by the Vikings. They both marry each other. 5, I'm going with Steelers. You already know I'm not the biggest fan of Justin, but you gotta You gotta give respect where it's due. Yep, you gotta give respect where it's due. Number 6, I'm gonna shock y'all. It's a lot of teams that's 2-2. I'm not gonna say it's the Joe and them because I know what you think. You think I'm gonna say it's Joe? It's not Joe. Because he only got one win. I'm going with the Broncos, and I'm gonna say the Broncos because of I don't, but their quality of wins. Their defense is nasty, and they beat the Bucks.
And the
Jets. 20-6, and they beat the Jets.
You can't ignore the quality of wins. I still don't think they season gonna amount to anything, but just to head on wins on their resume.
And it's like 5 teams that are 2-2. Mm-hmm. So depending on how I really want to do the Bengals because like you said with the Jags, their team is better than their record. I think the Bengals record, their team is way better than what their record is because I'm a Joe Burrow believer. But 6, I'm going Broncos because they quality of wins. I would say Chargers. If Justin wasn't hurt, I'm going Chargers. Because of how their team look, but he hurting. So
for the most part, we all got the same top 3, the same top 4. But for me and y'all, the difference between them is I switched 3 and 4. So I got Chiefs at 1, Ravens at 2. I got Houston at 3. Because I love CJ's weapon. Yeah, I think CJ got more weapons than Josh.
He do.
Okay. He do, absolutely.
And the Houston's defense is better.
Yes.
Straight like that. Houston's defense is better. So I have Houston 3, then I have Bills 4, and Steelers 5. I didn't know you was going to have them at 5 too. So
got to put some respect on them boys. They
and I only have them 5 because they great on defense and limited turnovers. I can't
argue with Steelers at 5. They definitely been playing better than I thought they would. I mean, they always have a good defense, but their defense look like even better than I thought they would. And then Justin Fields is not turning the ball over. He playing nice, clean football. Even though he did have, I think, 1 or 2 turnovers and they lost, but those was his first and second turnovers of the year and his only turnovers of the year. So he been playing good football. Steelers look good. Do I think they're gonna do anything this year in terms of compete for a Super Bowl? No, but will they make the playoffs?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Maybe not even a wild card.
The division. Never know.
They low key could.
They could. It's not impossible because we're there right now.
Yeah, because
great coaching, good defense, and not turning the ball over on offense.
Yeah, you got shut out. I'm not a fan of Justin, but you gotta give respect where it's due. Like you say, he playing clean. He playing very clean football. Like you can't really knock him for playing clean football because before, when he was in Chicago, he couldn't hold on to the ball. He was like jilling out there. But now,
and he was a running back.
Now he can drop back in there, man. And I'm not ready to put respect on Arthur Smith because of how he did Kyle Pitts in Atlanta.
No. Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, bro. But Kyle Pitts is doing it to himself.
He had a donut last week, but he looked good on Thursday night. He had a great game.
He's good for that. He's good for 1 in every couple games, and then the next 4 games he's not going to get open because he can't. It's burning me.
But I said that to say like Arthur Smith is putting together a competent and good offense for his quarterback. So you do have to put because it's not Mike. Like to be honest, it's the OC. So you gotta put some respect on him a little bit because last year I was one of them ones call up his job like week 9, like yo get Arthur Smith up out of here. Now he with Pittsburgh, so he look kind of competent. So you just gotta give respect where it's due as Arkansas.
Yeah, I can't disagree with y'all. I respect Pittsburgh at 5. I didn't want to put a 5th or a 6th team because I just felt as though those are the 4 teams that I think can compete for a Super Bowl right now. But if I had to go 5, I would definitely have Pittsburgh at 5. So we're going to move on to the Everything Goes game, catch or pass. I'm going to pose questions to my 2 hosts, and they got 30 to 60 seconds to respond whether they're going to catch or pass on the train. So the first question for today, the Vikings and the Commanders have a great shot at winning their division.
So I'm going to get a halfway ticket to the train.
That's super crazy. What you get? A one-way ticket? If you get a one-way ticket, you staying over there. Halfway ticket is crazy.
If the L come from Frankfurt to 63rd, I'm getting off at City Hall. That's how I'm bumming.
Crazy.
The Vikings, they have a great chance because Sam Darnold, boy, he look good. Leading the league in passing touchdowns. It might be Baker now because he just do 3 yesterday. But after this weekend, he's gonna still gonna be Sam Darnold. Passer rating, his yards are good, and he looks great. And the more I dig into Sam Darnold too, like I don't think anybody up here is the biggest fan of Sam Darnold. No, I would agree. But digging into it, from how the media feels about Sam Darnold and how
unfair.
coaches. It's a little, it is unfair because like him and Baker, their situation, but how the media feels and how coaches and the league feels is very different. Like you look into it, get multiple different opinions on Sam Darnold. The league loves Sam Darnold. Everybody think he can play. He's showing that he can play. And they 3-1 right now. Their division is of course the Lions. That's their biggest comp. That'll be their hurdle, but it's about the chance. I think they have a great chance. And then you look at their next 5. They got the Jets, Lions, Rams, Colts, Jags, and Titans. I see 3 on there. 3 wins, possibly 4. So they can go into week 8 or 9 with, 7, 8 wins under their belt. They play in the Lions, so that'll probably be a testament to if they can really pull it off or not, because that's their biggest threat. The Packers too. But going into the season, I thought it was going to be the Lions winning the division, but the Vikings are clearly going to run for their money. And then the Lions still have that, that loser. They're not losers, but that loser organization kind of thing we talked about a couple weeks ago, losing games you're not supposed to. Now the Commanders, no, because we run it. We run the East. I don't even got to get into it.
Got you. We gonna move
Word
on.
to Herbo. We run it.
You catching or passing?
No, I'm passing. I ain't getting on this joint. But nah, he made some great points though. Sam Darnold look good. Sam Darnold
Look great, bro.
He looks great. He's been
Great.
balling. But I don't know, bro. I believe in the Lions.
Respect.
Honestly, I love that culture that Dan Campbell built. To your point, yeah, they do have that mindset still. They lose games that they're not supposed to lose.
Absolutely.
Or they'll get too comfortable in a blower league.
And too cute and forget their identity. You're a run first team. Jared Goff is your quarterback. I do love Jared Goff, but
Two-headed monster in the backfield.
A true two-headed monster.
Two-headed. Both of them could be a one
Anywhere
both
else.
of them could be all pro.
Anywhere.
Both.
Both of them could be at every down.
Dave and
I said both.
Both of them could be at every down, all down back. They got too many weapons. Hawkinson's coming back.
Yes, sir.
They don't remember that they're missing their star tight end. That star tight end's coming back either next week or the week after.
That's the Vikes.
That's a
He was there. They got rid of him.
You got rid of him.
And they got rid of him for Sam Laporta. And he been quiet.
But he like that. He been quiet, but he like
Exactly.
that.
And he's like that. And when he turned it up, it's even worse. Yeah.
He's eventually going to turn
And what you think about the Commanders, well?
No.
Yeah.
They're not doing nothing down there.
So I feel the same way. I'm also gonna pass on this train for both reasons. The Commanders, no, I'm not. I think the Eagles going to win that division. I'm not going to get too much into that. And then for the Vikings, I do think the Lions are still in that division. I got the Lions winning that division. Do I think they got a chance to win it? I'm gonna say maybe, but I'm still going to lean the Lions' favor right now. So I'm gonna pass on that train.
Respect.
Moving on to question number 2. The Dolphins is done whether Tua come back week 7 or not.
Catching.
I'm getting on that game.
I'm going from Frankfurt all the way to 63rd. They're cooked. They're super cooked. They 1-3 right now, and they look abysmal without Tua.
Can't move the ball.
They 1-3, and when Tua come back, just so y'all know, they schedule when Tua come back.
Crazy.
It's the Colts, Cards, Bills, Rams, Raiders, Patriots, Packers, Jets, Texans. I have written down here 6 L's. That's to the Bills, the Rams, because at that point they'll be healthy. Because the Rams right now is healthy, but they play the Rams around like week 10. So at that point, Puka will be back. Yeah, Cooper will be back. Puka will be back. The offensive line get more healthy. Pats, they're gonna split with the Pats. They play the Pats this week. They might win. They might lose.
I think they lose this game.
They might lose. If they play them again, they might win, or they go 0-2. Packers, you know that's an L. Jets, L. Texans, L. So that's 9 losses. You're not making a playoffs with nine losses. That third, they're gonna be third in their division with 9 losses. Josh at the top, A-Rod probably, and then them. They're cooked. Super.
There's nothing I have to say. John said it all. They're cooked.
COOKED. Cooked.
I think they was cooked even if they had to.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Cooked. They didn't
true.
even look good when they had to. Before the concussion, he didn't look good. They wasn't playing good football.
Not at all.
I feel the same exact way. I'm going to catch this train. I do think that they about to lose this upcoming Sunday to the Patriots.
Sure.
And then whether they beat the Colts on the road or not, I doubt it. I doubt it. And then they gonna lose to the Bills, so that put them at 1-6. I don't need to go no further. They done at 1-6.
It's a lot of L's after that.
Yeah. So,
It's L room.
I'm definitely catching that.
Hamstring.
Tua is lights out for them. So moving on to the last question of the day, the Ravens have the best shot in the AFC to break through and beat KC.
I'm catching that train.
Catching that train.
For sure.
Solid.
For sure.
What you say, John?
I'm passing. I'm sticking with what I said a couple weeks ago to Texans. I know it's on the high right now. They run game popping, but I'm still sticking with the Texans. I think they got the best chance. I think Lamar is too. I think Patty is got too much rat in that man head. I don't think that he'll even with Derek.
Lamar didn't have Derrick Henry either.
He didn't, but I still don't think it mattered, in my opinion. Because you even think last year, their run game was popping last year. They didn't have Derek, but it was popping. So when they play the Chiefs, teams overcompensate when they play Patrick Mahomes. They look across the field and say, do stuff they're not supposed to do. We going to go for it on fourth and 6 at our own 45-yard line. You know you're not converting that. Patty getting the ball, he's scoring. That's why, and then you think he's lost so many times. That's in his, like he just, look how he played the Chiefs week 1. He throwing his shoulder into, he's going on the sideline. He rushed, taking off it. Like, come on, bro, you doing too much. I'm sticking with the Texans. I'm passing this train.
You said you catching or passing? Well, I didn't.
I'm catching.
You catching? So I'm with John on this one. I'm passing on this train. Like I said, the Ravens gotta show me more. Now, we know y'all can run the ball. I get y'all got Derrick Henry. Y'all run game is never the problem every year.
Not at all.
Show me that y'all can win a game throwing the football. We know Lamar can throw the ball. We know Lamar can make the throws. But when is Lamar making them throws? When they up 10-0, when they up 14-3, the defense is looking lights out, intercepting the ball. So now he making all the throws in the playbook. Make all the throws in the playbook when it's 7-7. Let me see that.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna pass on. I don't think they have enough weapons in their wide receiver room. I love Zay Flowers, but after that, I don't want to hear nobody else. I don't want to hear Rashad Bateman. I don't want to hear Nelson Aguilar. I don't want to hear nobody.
And then it gets to a point, like in the playoffs, we all believe Lamar can play. We all believe Lamar can throw the ball.
Yes.
He can be like in week 1 they play the Chiefs, he can be inconsistent as we see. Like who is he throwing the ball to? It comes down to those plays. Those plays is the difference between winning and losing. Like week 1 felt like a playoff game. And if that was a playoff game, they obviously would have lost. And then we were looking at Lamar like, here we go again with Lamar having to stand up in that pocket and deliver a good ball to his receiver that's open. That's why I don't. Not that they have no chance, but I don't. Like
I just don't see it.
You guys
I gotta see it.
That game, week 1, they went down to the play.
Derek Lively stepped out.
But the play before that is what I'm talking about. The play before that,
Lamar
Missed Zay Flowers wide open.
And then he said he wasn't throwing to him.
So that's even worse.
That was super crazy.
Cause how you ain't see him wide open? That's even worse. You know what? I don't even want to jump on Lamar no more. That's enough of that. You got anything else to say, Will?
No.
If not, we gonna end it there. I do want to tell you guys we got a new segment coming out this week. Stay tuned for that. If you like sports betting, we got a surprise for you guys. Make sure y'all watch the Saints and the Chiefs Monday night. Saints gonna take care of business. I promise you. We gonna cook the
spread
Chiefs.
on the Saints is a great bet too. We give them a free game.
Definitely.
They a touchdown dog.
And y'all missed the AK joint. His rush, they was high. Son, his rushing yards was opened up at 53 and a half. Crazy.
And we still believe in the Fightings too. They lost today, but they getting they get back. They get back.
We see y'all next week.